just over at Park Road, Milton, just in front of La Dolcevita, the home of Footpath Dining in Brisbane, and we're about to do an interview with Matt Green, who worked for his first 6 months of employment at the Fest House, and has since that time been employed in the hospitality industry and is in an excellent position to be able to make a comment about the hospitality industry in Brisbane. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are with Matt Green at the Thirsty Camel here on Riding Road. And Matt is the first person I found who was sober enough, long enough to actually remember what it was like in the Fest House. Matt, can you just explain a little bit about your experiences at the Fest House, because everyone remembers that it was a fantastic time. They don't seem to be able to remember what they did there. I don't know why.
Mate, I think there was a lot of drinking large beers out of large jugs and a lot of chicken dance. Which,
chicken dance, that's it.
At this point in time, whenever I hear that, it causes a bit of a twitch to happen in my eye. If I never hear it again, it'll be too soon. But no, it's a fantastic time, great atmosphere, just good to be part of something.
It was. Everyone, as I said, speaks so highly of the good times had in the Fest House. And one of the sort of legacies left over after that was the introduction in Brisbane of Footpath Dining, and you, in your role here as the manager, you have a particular feeling for Footpath Dining. I just wondered if you want to give us a bit of a summary about what benefit you think Footpath Dining has had for Brisbane.
Oh, mate, I think with the weather that we have up here and the culture that we have out here, we're very much a barbecues, outdoors sort of folk. So like I said, look, there's nothing better walking down Oxford Street to Sunday and everyone's sitting out in the footpath, having a good time. People are more open and more friendly, I think, rather than being, sort of stuck in the back of a restaurant or cafe or something somewhere. I'm a massive fan. I think it's a great thing. I think also it sort of brings in line with the culture from the southern states, where it's been very much a part of their restaurant dining scene for a long time. So I think that definitely came. I can't think of a downside.
I think the actual history of it was that it took off in Brisbane and really got a foothold early in the state. My recollection of the history of it, I think there were little pockets of it down south, but really Joe from Dolcevita led the push, led the charge to have Footpath Dining introduced up here, and between Sally Ann and Jim Sawley it was finally introduced, and we've never taken a backward step since.
Yeah, no, so, mate, I think it's an important part of our culture. So I'm massive fan, I have no issues.
Great stuff. Thanks very much, Matt.
Pleasure.
I'll just go and turn it off, and thanks a lot.
No worries.
So I've finished doing the interview with Matt Green, and I've come into the Brunswick Street Mall because Robert Allen, who held the position effectively of Chief Executive Officer to Sally Ann Atkinson, tells me that this Brunswick Street Mall was actually the first official location where you could technically say there was Footpath Dining. Now, I'm not going to argue with Robert because he's a very knowledgeable individual. Thank you, Robert, for that tidbit of information and for a satisfactory conclusion to our series on Footpath Dining.